Roundup, a big topic from the week now. Harris County District Attorney-elect Kim Ogg has fired 37 prosecutors. They were notified by email. Ogg says over the past several weeks, she and a team of attorneys have carefully reviewed the personnel files of all assistant district attorneys. She says this transition process is to ensure Harris County is a safe place for all families. The more than 30 prosecutors fired had a combined more than 600 years of experience. So what are the big changes coming to the DA's office? That's our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Just send me a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. Joining us live in the newsroom is our senior legal analyst, Chris Tritico. We have Democratic media consultant, Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Good morning again.
Good morning.
So was this a big shock, or anytime you have a change in leadership, is this something that can be expected?
Well, you know, on a personal note, most of these people are people I have worked with for many, many years and I count as personal friends, and so it was a difficult day for a lot of people, and many I've been reaching out to, expressing my condolences for their having to move on from careers that they've worked in for multiple decades. So it's a very sad day for a lot of these people. But when you have a change in leadership through an election, that new elected official gets to pick their own people and gets to bring in new people at the top. And it's not unlike, Jackie Bally, Donald Trump bringing in his own cabinet people, or when Sylvester Turner took over, him bringing in his own people. It is what happens as a result of a change in an election.
Yeah, during this election process, we've been hearing draining the swamp, and this is her version of doing that. I've often said, if you want to know how someone's going to be when they're elected and in office, look at how they run their campaign. Kim Ogg ran a very aggressive campaign. She went point by point, things that she did not like in the current administration. The firing of 37 people should not be a surprise to those people, because those people and a lot of the people in the DA's office were very devoted to Devon Anderson. So this is something that should not be a shock to them. It's around 10% of the administration. She made it clear, Kim Ogg made it clear when she was running, she wanted to get rid of the win at all costs attitude that she felt was in that administration, and this is the first step in doing that.
Yeah, the newly elected person, when you take office, you get to mold your office in your image, and that's what Kim Ogg's doing. And it hurts, especially when someone like me, when you're working with these people for multiple decades, but that's her right and her obligation.
Yeah, I mean, they're political appointees, and you come into a new administration, and that's what happened when you're a political appointee. The new administration comes in, they appoint their folks. And so I'm not sure what there is. For decades, there was a Republican administration. Devon Anderson was, appointed, and so, the people were basically left in multiple administrations, and this was an election, so you've got new people in. So I just don't know why the big fuss that we're.
Well, Devon took a pretty hard shot at this when Kim announced these terminations last week, Friday, I guess, and Devon took a pretty hard shot at her, saying she announced it right before Christmas.
Well, and she released a statement saying that this is now putting Harris County at risk.
At risk.
Well, I just thought that was kind of like a tee-up, right? Like, I mean, she asked her to make these announcements before the year end, and so Kim Ogg did, and then she released a statement saying you fired them before Christmas. Well, on the one hand, you want it to happen before the year end, and then you want to send a statement saying you fired them before Christmas.
I thought it was
just political.
I thought Kim Ogg's response was sort of funny. I mean, no offense to the people who got fired, but she said, look, you guys wanted to know what I was going to do, I let you know.
Yeah.
And
you asked me and I did it.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
All right, let's check in now on Twitter right now. First from Mark, he says, thank you to Kim Ogg. You have my support. I feel justice has been served. And then on the flip side here, Matt says it's one thing to have an agenda. It's another to make the DA's office incapable of doing its job. And then he also adds that Kim Ogg firing people a week before Christmas on a personal grudge rather than on merit. Do you think that he has a point to that?
Well, I don't know. we don't know what her reasoning was for firing anybody, and she didn't get into that. And she specifically said, I won't get into the reasons for why I made the decisions that I did, and she doesn't have to. And I don't know that there's any evidence that there was any personal grudges on any of this.
Well, I'm sure John Kerry is not sitting there talking to Donald Trump saying, do you have a personal grudge against me because you're appointing Rex Tillerman? I mean, this is just silly. I mean, they're political appointees that happen to be prosecutors. These are in the management part of the DA's office, and it would make sense for an incoming DA to bring in a new management team. It is the third largest county in the United States. It's a big DA's office, and it sounds like 37 people is a lot of people, but it's a big office.
Yeah, who are we kidding? I mean, this was a very dirty race. It was a nasty race. The people in the DA's office were very dedicated to Devon Anderson. It's not a shock that Kim Ogg would decide to get rid of the higher echelon who were devoted to the person that she just beat. She wants to have people in the position who are going to be dedicated and devoted to her. And also, as she outlined in her campaign, there are going to be a lot of other changes that she's pointed out that she did not like. We talked about this on air a couple of segments ago, the marijuana policy.
Right.
So this is just a beginning of many steps that you're going to be seeing coming from Kim Ogg.
And let's talk about some of those changes. The marijuana policy, she wants to move to a Class C misdemeanor offense for misdemeanor marijuana, which our new police chief is in favor of.
Look, we've got to start moving people out of this prosecutorial nightmare. We make people criminals and put them in jail, and so they're not able to, be part of our workforce. And we've got to stop doing that. And I think, DA Ogg, as she's going to be called next year, is going to kind of lead the way in that direction, and that's really important.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. And let me just say, like I said earlier, most of these people were very good friends of mine, and on a personal note, I wish you the very, very best of luck. Many of these people were very, very dedicated prosecutors and very professional people that I have enjoyed 3 decades of working with, and I wish you the very best of luck. We'll leave it right there. Facebook Live coming up right now.
All right, I concur. I know a lot of them as well, and they are talented, and I'm hoping they'll land on their feet soon. All right, thanks, guys, so much.